Welcome one. Welcome all. I have no idea what this token is, so probably already dead. This is from last bull market, but this serves the purpose. Good morning one. Good morning all. Some H2O to get the day going here. Thanks for joining me on this Monday, or what is this? Wednesday macro report. It's hump day. I feel it. I've been working hard on the yard, the garden, expanding it like crazy, but thanks for joining me. Killed by death. I believe you're up in Poland. Very cool. 4 p.m. in Poland. Good to know. We have some pretty amazing things that really I think are outside of our scope here in crypto. We have been hyper focused on this market through the bear market, positioned pretty well, but there is a lot of information that we need to get out to the masses. And I have some major social indicators that I've seen over the past 24 hours. We're going to be digging into today, along with some major updates regarding World War III. Is it really Tuesday? And God, the days just fly. Working hard. Thank you for the adjustment there. It's been a fast moving week. Okay. It's been a fast moving week. But before we get into this gigantic stack of news and some of the social indicators that I'm seeing on the Underscope, I want to remind everybody to support the channel, share this stream out. Let's get everyone in here and in the know on crypto before it's too late, and support the channel. Want to remind everyone, this is powered by Arculus, the world's leading crypto cold storage. You can easily secure, store, buy, swap, send, and receive crypto with this bad boy with a simple tap. 3-factor authentication, keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure that you use code BASE10 at checkout in the link down in the description. It has been a fast-moving week. It has, Station C4, absolutely. And really, I had some questions I saw in the chat. Why are we doing these morning streams? Honestly, you guys, I have a whole hell of a lot of things to get off my chest every single day. I feel that the time is shorter every single day that I get into this bull market. People's lives are falling apart that don't have any understanding of how to handle their money, how to handle their finances at the large. And it's setting up a lot of concern for me over the next, 6 years as we head closer and closer to the 2030 revamp that the world leaders have in mind for us. But without further ado, let's get into all this news. Start off with some crypto. Oh God, I got to turn this thing on. Give me a second here. This thing keeps turning off on me. But I'm seeing some good things just on the exchange side for Bitcoin. This is from Bitcoin News, a great account if you don't already follow them. Just highlighting that exchange inflows have hit the lowest level since 2015 when Bitcoin was, sitting, they only had about 20,000 Bitcoin going on. Now, this shows the trend of the exchange inflows, particularly this is the price in the dark black. This is excluding exchange inflows over the course of some time. It's only covering the SMA 365 days, so really over the year. And the exchange inflows are hitting very, very low levels. This is quite a beautiful thing. God, Nicole Minnis, shout out to you for reminding me. Crypto Maniac 1776. What's up, man? Been a while. Veteran Crypto had a great combo with him last night. Station C4, Thumbnail Investor, and Dusto, and Ant Be Capable CX. Again, adjusting me. It is Tuesday, and thank God it's Tuesday. It's these weeks move way too fast for me here. But what else is moving fast in my mind is the approach to the United States election. I keep reminding everyone that this is a boiling point. We've basically seen an extreme division amongst both the right and the left. It's interesting if you keep turning right and left hard. You end up coming to meet each other in the middle. That is where complete destruction of civility and society comes to a head. And, we try to remain right in the center of that circle, stay focused, stay based. Can you invite Wall Street Trapper? Absolutely. Killed by Death. Absolutely. Send me, I'll look him up after the show. Wall Street Trapper. I like that name. The crypto markets. Okay. So we're in this essentially a bubble, and it's up to us here to, that's why I go live every single day, to break out of the bubble, to get to the basic person, because it is my opinion that once patriots and crypto nerds meet, not by scissoring, of course, then that is where the ultimate power with humanity can be found, as they're trying to automate everything and move essentially every aspect of our lives online. If patriots and people that care about the sovereignty of their country and about their own personal self can realize that cryptography is the strongest vote that we have in crypto, essentially capital flight through crypto projects, taking the power away from central banks, that is a big move. You got to keep that in mind. And with that being said, we had just an early poll on voters in swing states and how many of them consider crypto a key issue in U.S. elections. So over 20% of voters in swing states consider crypto one of these key issues. Now, half of the 1,200 registered voters polled from Michigan, Ohio, Montana, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Arizona say that they pay attention to candidates' crypto stances. According to the poll from DCG, the Harris poll, which administered the survey on behalf of DCG last month, the online survey revealed that swing state voters consider crypto an important issue, according to a statement released earlier today. This data shows that crypto is the top of mind for voters in these swing Senate states, and that pro-crypto positions is a net positive for policymakers and candidates. And really, I kind of disagree with imagining that crypto is so embedded in just, the mainstream public. Honestly, I'm feeling that we are still hella early, that the majority of the population has literally no idea what's coming for them or what's going on in the world at large. And a little bit of that was, kind of validated with a few social metrics I have seen over the last 24 hours. So go ahead and give this a listen, this wholesome young man. Let's see what we got here.
3 blind men touch an elephant. The first one says, "It's a snake." And the second one argues, "No, it's a wall." And the third one rebuts, "No, it's a rope." None of them are wrong, but their perspectives are limited. My goal today is to share new perspectives that will lead you to financial, emotional, and spiritual freedom. Money issues are one of life's biggest stressors. A new study shows that to have a 20% down payment for a house, the median age of the home buyer is in their 60s.
Ugh.
Anyone want to wait that long?
In their 60s.
Hairdresser lamented to me that she'll be able to retire a week after her funeral, and it broke my heart. If you dream of owning a home or retiring before your funeral, then we have to become financially literate. Saving is not enough because inflation exploded after the pandemic, which is why everything got so expensive. Our government printed so much money for special projects and wars. Guess who's paying for it? The mechanics of investing are actually easy, but it comes down to mindset. The most common barriers are fear, laziness, and closed-mindedness. Great investors are open-minded and understand things before other people. So I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now. I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class.
You hear the boos. You hear the boos. You can barely hear them, but they're coming through the microphone right now.
It's decentralized and finite, which means no government can print more at will. In the early days, the exchanges for Bitcoin were prone to hacks and fraud, but the issue's been resolved with the recent launch of the Bitcoin ETFs backed by two of the world's largest asset managers, BlackRock and Fidelity.
So literally, he has an entire crowd booing him in the background, and that camera angle really didn't do it justice. Here is a little bit of the crowd when they were on the receiving end of this information. This crowd fully psyoped in the belief that things will just remain the same. Just drink your beer, watch your favorite sports team, and everything will be hunky-dory. Let's see how they took the information here. Just laughing, booing. This is embarrassing. These people in the crowd literally think that it is embarrassing to know about entire monetary mechanisms and how they're scamming your ability to purchase a home before you're nearly ready to die. That is the simple fact that this kid, this new graduate, is laying out, and the entire crowd of chicken nugget guzzling beer havers. And, you know, no shame on beer. It's just exercise power over this. You know, I feel like the mechanisms that have been put in place in front of us, these ease of access tools to smooth over the intrinsic tyranny that you live within, are so deeply ingrained in this crowd. There is no saving for these people. And, you know, that's it. I'll come back every single day, twice a day, trying to be that Paul Revere. You know, it's hard to ring the bell and to really get them awake. You have to grab them by the shoulders and shake them, kill by death, feeling like they're gonna, you know, be poor forever. Honestly, there's not. I lose hope for humanity every time that I hear this. You know, because this is the future educated portion of the society coming in to the workforce with immense amounts of debt. Of course, you got to add that on, but Uncle Joe said that he's going to forgive it, so there's no worries there, right? We'll just keep kicking that debt and that generational problem down to your kids. There is no issue, right? Good morning, Zachary Martin. Property tax is just a way for government to steal your personal property. Great point, veteran crypto. And it's just even if you pay off your house, you still get hit by the taxes for just existing property taxes. And seeing that, you know, I've seen a few people get spicy down in Texas working on actually creating patents for their land so that it's untaxable, but it's a long road to get there. You got a lot of uphill battle to do. And with that, Bitcoin, you know, they cannot tax you year over year for holding Bitcoin. They can tax you year over year for holding vehicles, for holding homes. Thank God they can't do it for firearms. Don't ever let them. You know, that is absolutely a hill worth dying on, is the Second Amendment and our rights to self-protection. They should never be able to continuously tax that. But they're going to be having a new mechanism to come in and scam people, which is the climate scam. So you have to pay a tax for the air that you breathe, for the, you know, the area that you cover. It's going to get dark. And with, on top of that, social metric, I also saw this, Tom Brady, my God, not having a great time. Let's listen in.
Tom also lost $30 million in crypto.
Oh, this is neat.
How did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk lost $30 million in crypto. Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk was like, me know that not real money. Like,
Tom Brady, down bad, folks. And, you know, they'll make an example out of Tom. Really, I don't think Tom, if I'm just shooting from the hip, had any idea how nefarious or how down bad FTX was when they approached him. Now he has left the man begging for forgiveness on the tables of the elites. You know, probably a room full of people pumped with adrenochrome and all of the wonderful givings that Hollywood seems to adore so much. And the bashings on crypto will continue. And honestly, it makes me, on one hand, very excited that these low entry points, that the undiscoveredness of crypto still remains at large, that we're still in that point where we see things much much, much more in front of the regular populace. That again leaves lots of room to the upside, which on one hand makes me happy. On the other hand, it's like, wake the up, people. Like, this is a do or die moment for your buying power, for your rights to own property. Most people die with mortgage that is passed on to their kin. Now, it is up to us to stop this gigantic smorgasbord that we have created, where we're just perpetuating the debt on down to the next generation. How about have some respect for the next generation that you're bringing into this world? Maybe try to fix the problems that have pushed our central banks to the point to basically just kicking off new wars to keep on cooking the books to the sky. And with all of this being said, I will remind everyone that the funds for Social Security are now projected to run out by 2035. This I've been saying for years now, and it's being realized more and more on a larger macro scale. This is from Kobayashi letter. This is according to annual trustees report released yesterday, Monday. At the projected depletion rate, 83% of benefits will be payable if Congress will not be payable. I believe they meant will be not payable if Congress does not act sooner to prevent the shortfall. Is Social Security a failed program? And my God, I have seen this thing coming since I was 19, 20 years old. I'm now 35, I guess, 35 around there, mid 30s. And now we see these, macro experts. We see all these geniuses coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, wait, really, Social Security is not going to be available. And you know what? Even beyond if it is available, the rate of inflation is gutting people. Please don't, that giveaway in the Rumble chat, I don't have access to the Rumble chat, but for the love of God, do not click that link. I'm going to get in there, or someone maybe upstairs or in the system there can delete that. That's a scammer, right? That's bait. That's bait right there. And so is the entire idea that the government's going to take care of themselves. And you're correct, Boosted 2 JZ. I am unsure of my age. I'm unsure of the day of week. I am literally just entrenched in the news and my garden and my family. So, but this, seeing things like this, it's validating because these are, massive, massive institutions that are realizing that the system is cooked. But, on the other hand, it does give the driving factor for people to find something new, something that can actually lift them up out of the ground, give them the ability to fully pay off their house and be able to afford all of the things that life brings at you. And, there's a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of concerns about the longevity of Social Security, and there is a larger problem at hand here. And this is from Game of Trades. The Treasury Bond issuance for 2024 is expected to hit $1.9 trillion, surpassing even the peak of the 2008 financial crisis. Now, this is just a good visual representation of the ebbs and flows of the pain in the system that we have. This is the entire plumbing of our financial system, showing a massive underlying infection. Now, you have this. This is the 2007-2008 crisis, the housing crisis, and this is the big injection. When they actually tried to dig themselves out of that hole, it's more of a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. Short-term fix, we get another, 10, 15 years of somewhat normalcy. Then we hit this absolute anomaly. Now, when we had the COVID anomalies that we saw, this was a signal that the fiat dollar was literally on its last 10 years and that there was a large revamp coming. And it's up to us to find out what that revamp is. Now we fast forward to our current situation. We've had 3 years that were, just under the lead up to the housing crisis. And now we have absolutely blown past that target. So not looking healthy at all. Honestly, if you're asking me, it looks like the literal blood of modern monetary theory is infected. And this will, sure, it's not going to blow up tomorrow. Sure, it's probably going to last a few years, but you have to take advantage of the few years while the wheels are still on this out of control train to save you and your family from financial demise. Because if you literally stay in fiat dollar, that is one of the guarantees that I can make, is that it's continuously losing value. Now, Hannah brought up something that we saw on the news overnight. This is Gary Gensler talking about crypto. Let's have a listen to good old Gary and all of his wonderful. I mean, look at this wholesome face here. Let's see what he's got to say. This may be extra loud. We're gonna see. Maybe I'll turn it down just a touch before we get into it.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is, when you look at the headlines today around what the SEC is doing and what your priorities are, it's hard to tell how much of your focus today is on the stock market writ large versus the world of crypto and trying to figure out the future of Ethereum and other things. How do you see it?
Well, I see it this way. We oversee a $110 trillion capital market. About half of that's the stock market, half, as you might know, is the bond markets and other markets. Crypto is a small piece of our overall markets. And
Okay, Gary. So it's a small, tiny little piece of our entire market. Now let's talk about that. You minimize crypto's size after wasting. Oh, I gotta turn this audio. You minimize crypto's size after wasting insurmountable amounts of money and time and SEC resources moving to regulate it, right? So it's this tiny little problem that you're just pouring tons of taxpayer gasoline onto to make sure you isolate it. Meanwhile, you have completely ignored the fact that our banking infrastructure in the United States is nearly $700 billion in the red in mortgage-backed securities. My God. By other types of securities within these systems that he makes this big deal of. This is the big chunk of, this is where our focus is. Meanwhile, he spends all of the time and resources publicly going after crypto while ignoring the fact that there are over 220 banks that are at risk of going insolvent over botched securities investments. Now, as the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, I would think it is reasonable to focus on the $600-700 billion problem that is underneath the ground of literally beneath our feet. The ground of which we walk upon, the civility in this country stands at risk, and this man has the unmitigated gall to minimize the potentials and the power of crypto, meanwhile ignoring the literal earthquake that's building underneath our feet. Absolutely disgusting to see, these bureaucrats act this way. Apologies for the echo there. I got a couple buttons to hit. So now I got that out of my chest. So now I don't got to rant about that all afternoon here. Now on the world side, on the war side, on the literal transition of humanity right now, the fourth turning, which is upon us, and the new Bretton Woods agreement that I see coming over the next 5 to 6 years is heating up here. Now, we have this news. Nick dropped this to me this morning. Germany announcing it will send 35,000 troops to the Ukraine. Schultz announces Germany's readiness to deploy 35,000 troops to support allies. Not a great indicator here, you guys. Germany not backing down. And really, it's we have some other things going on. Russia sees this unwillingness to back down from a majority of NATO countries, and they have began tactical nuclear weapon drills. The drills have never been performed, despite having the ability to do so for 70 years. They've been spending this entire time building out a massive nuclear arsenal. Now they're putting their readiness to the test. Along with, it just keeps going, folks. China has hacked the UK's Ministry of Defense. Reports are coming out about this. Rishi is going to be a big mad if this has been confirmed to be true. Moving on now. In the United States, here we go. Oh my God. Maxine Waters has launched her own crypto conspiracy theory, or not crypto conspiracy, just a conspiracy at large that Trump supporters are training up in the hills for a coordinated attack. Remember when Maxine was like, surround them, let them know, hell no, go to where they are in town, essentially calling for violence against Trump supporters last election. Now, this woman, this lady, is trying to spin the idea that gun-loving Trump supporters are out there just actively training in the hills to target specified cities. Meanwhile, we all know that Jorge Oros is in the background preemptively funding the movements that you've seen kick off across campuses in the United States recently. That is just the little tiny spark, the little ember of what's to come for this next election. And now we have just a repeat. She is laying the groundwork to blame the other side, just as they did last time. No, I would, disagree that Trump supporters are up in the hills with their eyes on a certain city in the crosshairs. I think that's very, very incorrect and very dangerous to be saying. It lights up the other side very heavily. And we had reports yesterday that I knew were too good to be true. Hamas accepting Egyptian ceasefire proposal. However, this was not the deal that Israel agreed to. Hamas has accepted a softened proposal of Egypt that would not be approved by Israel. Israel has indeed rejected the proposal. So, that being said, you got to get prepared, you guys. And on top of, being prepared for the monetary collapse, being prepared for these multiple nation factions getting ready for a third world war, you have to be prepared on the local level. I was talking about the storm system that was coming into the central U.S. yesterday. This is a shot from Jordan Hall of Barnsdall, Oklahoma. This is absolutely incredible. Probably one of the scariest aftermath photos that I have ever seen. It is quite a daunting task trying to think about how to be prepared for natural disasters. Luckily, we're doing everything that we can in the background to bring you the value that you can have on you at all times and keep your family safe should a situation like this come to a location near you. Things just keep getting heavier and heavier. This is another site of the actual Barnsdall, Oklahoma location. This place got hit very hard. As you can see, lots of debris, very violent movement, and, prayers go out to everyone that was in the path of the storm. Absolutely. This is a major problem. Like people say, that can never happen to me. Or you're always talking about SHTF. It gets worse and worse. Looks like Fade and Tradfi on the border to Oklahoma and Arkansas, and talking about it being nuts last night. Man, I'm really glad that you're all right. And really glad that everyone in the basement is all right. Let me know where you are. And, when we talk about all these things heating up about, 5th generation, 6th generation warfare, I think it's a multi-headed beast. One of the things that I was deplatformed for the heaviest was talking about this exact subject. So here we go. See if the channel exists after this one. This is from Dutch Sense. In case you did not know, radio waves or electromagnetic radiation can indeed modify the weather. Not his words. This comes from NOAA, which says that electromagnetic radiation can indeed be used by humans to modify the weather. This is a number 8 on the list of weather modification activities listed by NOAA themselves. So here's just a snapshot of that. So you guys don't think that I'm absolutely losing it all the time. Got to get myself out of here. Using lasers and other sources of electromagnetic radiation to modify the weather. My God, makes you think sometimes, right? Makes you think, especially when you think back to Turkey. If you think back to Turkey, the time frame where they were trying to stop the tanks, the time frame shortly after there where 3 over 7.0 earthquakes came in, and the immense casualties that were inflicted from that happening. It's just insane how little the media was willing to talk about what happened to Turkey. It was insane the basic timeline that followed Erdogan trying to hold back tanks from making it into the Ukraine. Now, guess what? You just saw Germany getting ready. Hey, yeah, we got 35,000 troops ready to go. America, oh yeah, we already are in Odessa. No biggie, no problem. And guess what? We're going to keep printing $1 million missiles off of my tax dollars, off of your tax dollars at home to perpetuate a conflict that literally none of us want. Literally none of us. I have not met a person that is down to just continue to spend to oblivion, to hit $50 trillion in deficit in the name of borders that are not our own. I have yet to meet a single person that supports what's going on right now. Absolutely incredible. The world at large. And, you know, with all this being said, we are still early here in crypto. We are still positioned to absolutely crush it in this bull market. But with the moves that we're making right now, with the positions that we're making right now, I implore everybody to take that value and turn it into tangible assets. Turn it into home. Turn it into property. Turn it into vehicles. Turn it into hard iron goods. Turn it into a garden. Turn it into legacy wealth for yourself and your family. Make sure that they know what's coming in this world. That is up to us. It is on our shoulders here to spread the message far and wide before things get so bad that people end up beating each other up over Bic lighters in the future, which I don't see is too far off from happening right now. So with all that being said, I'm going to be getting into the altcoins today, later at 2 p.m. We're going to be looking at all the on-chain analytics we can to find the hottest new picks. And here we are. We're going to send you. Make sure to give a shout out from the basement in the Discover Crypto live stream. They're going to be coming at you real soon. And until 2 p.m., I bid you all adieu. Goodbye.